Good morning, class. Once again, this is welcome to WASA. This is PLAR History and Geography. Once again, my name is Jonathan. I hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving long weekend where everyone spent lots of time with family and friends, eating lots of food, taking time off and just relaxing. And yeah, now we're back at it. We're back at it. So yes, we are looking at PLAR History Geography. We are entering week 6 of our 9-week term. So week 6, we're on class 1 since it is Tuesday. Okay, so yes, we're looking at geography. As you recall, the history portion is now completed. We are looking at lesson 4. Okay, so my goal today and our goal for today is to finish off lesson 4. We're going to finish off looking at human geography. We don't have much left to talk about in terms of this lesson, so hopefully we can finish off this lesson, and then on Thursday we can start lesson 5 looking at physical geography. Okay, so again, I want to thank everyone for listening, tuning in, watching. Okay, I really appreciate your participation. Again, at any point during my lesson, if you have any questions, please let me know. I'm here to help. I'm here to answer any question you may have. Okay, so please don't hesitate to ask any question. Okay, even it could be history questions. Okay, if you have any question in terms of PLAR history, again, just let me know. Okay. All right, so let's begin. Again, not much housekeeping items today, so we're gonna, just get started. Just get started. Okay, so as you recall, we're looking at human geography. Okay, human geography. Okay, we're looking at people, the communities, the country, the culture, the influence, and how it all relates to the land, the space, the world, in terms of geography. Okay, so we have talked lots about economic geography, dealing with lots of NAFTA and all that. And today, we're gonna finish off human geography. We're looking at the last two main topics. Okay, so we're gonna look at urbanism. Okay, and then we're gonna look at military. Okay, so economic is now done. We talked about it. So our last two section is urbanism and military. So we're gonna talk about those two sections, okay? So I'm gonna scroll through all these slides again and talk lots about NAFTA. Assignment 9 can now be completed. Alright, here we go. Alright, I'm gonna start right here. Where our last class we looked at the industry sectors. Okay, again, this is review material. Okay, so I'm gonna go over the industry sectors again because you'll see it again on your next assignment. So I'm gonna take a bit of time right now just to go over this material. Okay, so remember there's three industry sectors. Okay, we got the primary, we got the secondary, and we got the tertiary industries. Okay, so number 1, primary. Okay, that industry deals with harvesting raw materials or natural resources. Okay, for example, we got steel, lumber, wood. Also we got minerals, water, forest, soil, animals, all natural resources or raw materials. Okay, they harvest all the raw materials or natural resources, and that's basically what the primary industry is. Okay, so basically there are jobs in this field. For example, we've got agriculture, fishing, forestry, mining. Okay, they deal with natural resources or raw materials. That's the kind of jobs that they do. Okay. 2, secondary industry deals with producing manufactured goods. Okay, so they take goods from the primary industry and they turn it into manufactured goods that can be used by consumers. In other words, us. Okay, so for example, we have this giant piece of lumber. Okay, so the primary would take the lumber, they'll cut it down, they'll chop it, and then they'll give it to the secondary. In the secondary industry, they'll turn it into furniture. You got fishing, you have that giant fish. Now take it to the secondary. They take that fish, they cut it up. They sell the fish. They can use it, for example, like canned tuna, canned fish, for example. Those are examples of secondary. Okay, so again, it's like It's like a giant web. We're just building off one another. And lastly, we got the tertiary industry, which is known as the service industry. Okay, service industry. So basically, we got the primary and the secondary industry, but the tertiary takes the materials from the primary and secondary and return it to service. Okay, this is really lots of jobs come out of the tertiary industry. So for examples, we got transportation, banking, energy, communication, entertainment. Okay, all examples. So again, if I scroll down my slide, you'll see this little image, a little web. Okay, all the sectors all work together to create an economic chain of production. The primary sectors gather raw materials or natural resources. Okay, the secondary sectors put the raw materials to use. Okay, so we got to put it to use. And the tertiary sector sells and support the activities of the two. Okay, so for example, let's look at mining. I'm gonna give you an example. We're gonna look at mining. Okay, so people work in the mine. They dig up minerals, rocks, and such. Okay, they work that. Okay, after they take that, they turn into the secondary. Where they, for example, they build, your gaming system, or your iPhone, or your tablets, or your laptop. Okay, that's a secondary. They build it. Okay, so think about factories. Assembly lines. They build and they're assembling these minerals together, or these rocks materials together. And then you've got the tertiary where they take the material and they sell it. Okay, so we need planes to ship it. We need bankings to keep track of finance. So they sell it and produce it. Okay, so think of service. Okay, so also got teachers like myself, comes from the tertiary industry. We got nurses and police. Okay, all this comes from the tertiary. Okay, so one giant steps. Okay, it's like a giant loop where they're all linked together. Okay, so that is the service industry. Again, that is on page 31 of your textbook if you're following along. And again, I noticed that Fort Hope is on the line again. So Fort Hope, good morning over there. Over at Fort Hope.
Good morning.
Morning. Who do we have again today at the Learning Center over at Fort Hope? Do you got Knight and Delilah again?
Rebecca.
Oh, Rebecca. Good morning, Rebecca.
Morning.
Is there anyone else at the Learning Center? Just you?
Knight's here as well.
Oh, Knight's there too. So we got Rebecca and Knight.
Yeah.
Delilah's not there today.
Was that her?
Awesome. Okay, perfect.
Who's here?
Yeah, so we got Rebecca, Knight. Anyone else?
That's it.
That's it? Okay, perfect. Again, if more students start to come in, just let me know. Just shout your name so I know who's there, who's not there. But perfect. Excellent. So Rebecca, which portion of the course are you working on right now? Have you completed PLAR history, or are you working on geography portion right now, Rebecca?
PLAR history.
You're still working on history. Okay, perfect. Okay. Again, Rebecca, if you have any questions about PLAR history, let me know. It's okay, like I mentioned before in the past, we have different students, many students working at different pace. Again, we have new students always coming in, so they could be starting from the beginning in terms of PLAR history. Some maybe even be ahead of me, almost finished PLAR geography, for example. Okay, so it's okay. So take your time, work at your own pace. Again, if you have any questions, let me know, but make sure you get those assignments done, completed. Once they're done and completed, get them to me as soon as you can, and I'll mark them and I'll give you feedback. Okay, and that goes towards everyone. Okay, not just Rebecca or Knight or anyone over at Fort Hope. That goes to all the communities. Okay, so for all everyone. Okay, so moving along. Again, I'm on page 33 of the textbook. If you're following along, we're going to talk about the second main topic in terms of human geography. We're going to look at urbanism or urban geography. Okay. Yeah, and you'll see this term again in your assignments. So I'll put a little star beside it, indicate that's a little important, reminder. So urban geography. Does anyone know what urban means? What does urban mean? Any guesses in terms of what urban means? You may have heard the term before. Urban. What does it mean? What does it stand for? What are we talking about when we talk about urban geography? Well, in this case, urban geography, we're looking at towns, cities, or highly dense populated area. An area mainly towards towns and cities with lots of people, highly populated area. So urban geography, put a little circle around that. It's a study of history of urban settlement, development of cities, urban structure, and population. Okay, so we're looking at the patterns in terms of the city. We're also looking at urban problems, uh, policies such as how it impacts the quality of life. Okay, so this is what we're talking about when we're dealing with urban geography. Okay, so urban settlement, so basically how it was created, or how a city was created, or development of cities, urban structure and population, why that particular area is so populated. Okay, problems, policies such as quality of life. So, for example, why is Southern Ontario or Toronto area so populated? Why did they have so many people compared to people living in Northwestern Ontario? Why is there less people? Okay, so we're looking at urban settlements. What problems may come and such. Okay, this is urban geography. Again, we're looking at lots of terminology and definitions. Okay, so it's really important that we understand, break down the terminology, have an understanding of what it means, so that we can answer the questions. Again, as an urban area continues to grow, problem can arise. Okay, so more conflict, more problems. Cities need to expand, and valuable farmland can be lost. Okay, the amount of productive land acquired to support that lifestyle of an individual, country, or businesses is known as the ecological footprint. Okay, ecological footprint. So, for example, what ecological footprint means is that how much space a particular individual need in order to live. Okay, so I have a little link down here that you can check out on your own time down here. Okay, if you click on this link, it'll take you to this website where you can calculate your own ecological footprint. In other words, how much space do you need in order to live your daily lifestyle? How much space or requirement do you need in order to live your lifestyle? It's pretty neat. It has like questions such as, do you eat meat? Do you walk to school? Do you take a shower or do you take a bath? All that impacts the environment, the land, the world we live in. It just calculates, that your ecological footprint. So, for example, I have a little image right here. You can see that I got this giant green footprint. Giant green footprint. And at the top, you notice that meat animal products, takes up a lot of space. Okay, so for example, if you are a vegetarian and don't eat meat or any animals, you require less space in order to live. Okay, then we got clothing, types of house you live in, service. Okay, this all takes into account Okay, as you notice that, non-meat product takes less space in terms of our environment. Okay, if you're walking more compared to less driving, okay, that also impacts the environment because we're creating less pollutions. Okay, all factors taken account in terms of urban geography. Okay, so large cities manufacture more products, and that can result in more pollution. Okay, so for example, if you're driving to work every day, or if you're driving to the learning center every day, that creates more pollution. Whereas if you're walking to the grocery store, or you're walking towards the learning center, there's less pollution. Or you can ride your bike. That's another alternative as well. Okay, all this relates to urban geography. Okay, so more people live in bigger cities, which creates more problems, such as, like I said, pollution. Also have more garbage and waste. Okay, so for example, I'm from Southern Ontario. I know that back home for me, we have recycling is collected every single week. Every single week. Whereas up here in Silicote, I noticed that recycling is collected every other week. Every other week. Okay, that's just another example of urban geography, where it takes into account less people, less populated area, which means that there's less garbage in Silicote, less recycling in Silicote. Okay, that's why it's collected every other week. Right? Whereas in Toronto, South Ontario, it's collected every week. Okay, so just take that for example is what I'm giving. Okay, so that's just a little start about urban geography. Urban geography. Okay, looking at urban settlements, development of cities, uh, urban structure, population. Okay, so make sure you recognize urban geography and its terminology and what it means. Okay, you'll see it again for sure. Alright, moving on to my next slide. Okay, I got a little chart. Okay, I'm gonna zoom out here. Okay, I got a little chart here, a little neat chart. So, for example, you'll see here Canada. Okay, it's blue means the variable capacity, how much space there is, how much land there is, and the red indicates the ecological footprint. Okay, so we got blue, which means that Canada has lots of space. Okay, but we don't require much. Whereas look at the United States, for example, they don't have much space, but they need a lot of space in order to live because there's more people, for example. Okay, I think I got more charts here. Okay, the population of a city, province, or country is dependent on the number of births, deaths, and migration. So migration means moving around or migrating to a different area. Okay. Canada is a country that has a slow growing population. Okay, so we have a population that's slowly growing. Okay, we don't grow rapidly or quickly. Canadians on average have a fewer children born and have a longer, live longer due to the higher quality of life. Okay, so in other words, again, I got more charts and diagrams to illustrate further understanding. So, typical developed country. So Canada is known as the developed countries, again, which means that we have higher quality of life, a standard of living. So which means that we have a lower death rate and lower birth rate. So not many children or babies are born in Canada, but then again, our death rate is much less. Okay, so this right here is Canada, for example. Okay, on this side, you got developing countries, which means countries that are less developed, don't have much standard of living. Okay, so notice that we have, less birth, but people are living much longer. Again, chart down here that illustrates the same thing. Okay, we got developed countries, so we got Canada on this side. Okay, and then we got developing countries underneath. Again, it illustrates that we have lower birth rates and people living much longer, up towards the 70s and the 80s, because we have better services in terms of healthcare, food, and quality of living. Whereas developing countries, such as countries in Africa, there's lots more births in terms of babies being born, but people are not living much longer. Okay, as they age, their quality of life decreases. Okay. Again, I got more charts here, which means again, Canada right here, which indicates that we're more developed, which means we have less babies, okay, because we're in a dark green area. Whereas countries such as Africa and the African continent, there are more babies being born, but which indicates that they're less developed. Which means that countries and areas in Africa, they have less quality of life, less quality of standard of living, less services such as healthcare compared to countries like Canada. All right, still looking at urban geography. We're going to look at quality of life in society. Again, you'll see this come up again in your next assignment. The quality of life in society. Quality of life. Okay. Think it speaks for itself. Quality of life. So basically it means that the state of being happy, healthy, and prosperous. Okay, so being healthy is a reflection of life expectancy. So if you're healthy, you should be able to live longer. Okay, the higher the life expectancy, the longer social lives, improves the quality of life. Canada is a country with a high life expectancy. Okay, so pretty much to sum that all up, if you're healthy, you have healthcare services, you're happy, you have goals, you will live longer because we have all this. Okay, that improves your quality of life. Quality of life. Again, in terms of Canada, as the year goes by, the decade goes by, our quality of life is much higher. Okay, people nowadays are living up to the 70s, the 80s. Okay, because we have a higher standard of living. Okay, we have services, we have food. Okay, so all relates back to quality of life. So it's really important that we take care of ourselves. Sleep properly, eat properly. If we're sick, we'll get that taken care of. Because that all impacts the quality of life. All quality of life. So again, it's really important that we are healthy, we're happy, we're prosperous. All reflection of your life expectancy. Okay. That's why it's always so important to have a smile on our face. Okay, that's again. Now more definitions you'll see. Quality of life in society. Okay. Again, I got more diagrams and charts, images of the map of the world. Just indicates that Canada, for example, if people living nowadays on average, we're living up to our high 70s, low 80s in terms of life expectancies. Okay. Whereas countries that are less developed, again, point out areas in Africa, mainly people in Africa are living up towards the 30s to 40s. Okay, because they have a less quality of life. Okay. Are there any questions right now in terms of urban geography? Urban geography? Any questions? Any questions in terms of PLAR history on the materials you're working on right now? Any questions? Okay, we're almost done lesson 4. Almost done human geography. Our last section that we're going to talk about right now is military geography. Military geography. Okay, last one. And then after this little few slides, human geography will be completed. Lesson 4 will be completed. And then, like I said, on Thursday, we'll get towards lesson 5, the last lesson, where we'll be looking at physical geography. Okay. All right, so military geography. Again, military, pretty straightforward. We're looking at defenses, not necessarily going into battles and wars and creating conflicts, but mainly looking at defenses. Okay, so military geography. What is military geography? So military geography is a specialized field in geography. Okay, this is something different, something unique, dealing with natural and the man-made physical features that may affect the planning and conduct of military operation. Okay, a specialized field is special, dealing with natural, man-made physical features that may affect the planning and conduct of military operations. Okay, so again, we're mainly looking at, defenses, man-made, organizations, in terms of, promoting something, promoting human rights. This is all about military geography. Okay. Something that's unique about military geography is that, again, you'll see this term called UN, United Nations, the UN. They pop up again. So as you know, back in our history portion, we talked lots about UN, the United Nations, where their goal was to, promote world peace, prevent any war from outbreaking, economic development. Okay, so UN is, countries promoting peace, security, and economic development. Okay, UN. Again, as you recall, Canada is part of the UN. Okay, and right now, again, we're gonna just expand our knowledge more about the UN in a way, and how it relates to military geography. Military geography. Okay, we looked lots about Canada, but we're going to now relate it to the rest of the world and other countries that are in play or have similar mindset or similar goals towards Canada in terms of military geography. Scrolling down here. Again, another important term you'll see, I'm going to put in a little box, Security Council. Okay, an important division of the United Nations. So the Security Council is a part of the UN. Okay, the Security Council is a part of the United Nations. It contains 5 permanent members: United States, Britain, China, France, and Russia. It also has 10 rotating members. It is called intercession in response to quickly to international crisis. So if there's any crisis going on, any problems, any conflict going on in the world, these 5 countries, they gather together and they meet. So for example, my image above, you'll see a little Security Council meeting where they talk, they discuss. Okay, again, like I said, Canada is a part of the UN, it is a part of the United Nations, and is also a part of the Security Council in a way. So Canada's role, again, it's related all back to peacekeeping. Peacekeeping. Okay, so Canada's role in the Security Council is to protect civilization, civilians in war-torn, disaster-struck countries. So again, as we talked about, if a hurricane is happening, parts of the world, or if an earthquake happened, Canada's role is to aid them, provide them, with medicine, food, clothing, shelter. Okay, we give them supplies. Okay, all this back to Canada as a peacekeeping. Okay, so again, like I said, for example, if a country, is in natural disaster, not necessarily war, but natural disaster is happening in a country, Canada, send peacekeeping. We'll send our peacekeeping troops or help them in terms of medicine, food supplies, clothing, and shelter. Okay, in other words, Canada also helps, to promote basic human rights. Okay, we're trying to help them out. Okay, trying to help people that are not living in poverty, so that we can give them a better standard of living. Okay, so in other words, we're there to provide, healthcare, transportation, social assistance programs. Okay, this is all goals reflected in terms of the Security Council. So all countries and part of the United Nations and members in the Security Council, all goals to help promote human rights. Again, human rights. Again, we talked about it earlier in terms of lesson 4. We want to promote equalities, equal standard of living across the world. Okay. Again, just not quite new material. Again, we're just building on what we know before in terms of United Nations, in terms of Canada, and how it relates to all back, in terms of this case, military geography. All right. Again, also looking at military geography, we'll look at the next section called Commonwealth Nations. Commonwealth Nations. Again, you'll see this again. Commonwealth Nations. Again, we're looking at Canada. Again, Canada is a part of the Commonwealth Nation. Okay, Commonwealth Nations. Commonwealth Nations. Again, I have a little map on my smartboard screen, a map of the world. We'll see countries highlighted in green. Whoever is highlighted in green, for example, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, India, for example, are all a part of the Commonwealth nations. Commonwealth. Commonwealth. Any guesses what Commonwealth may be associated with? Any guesses why Canada is recognized as a Commonwealth nation? Commonwealth. Commonwealth. Okay, there are a total of 54 members, so 54 countries related to the Commonwealth. Commonwealth. Again, I'm on page 35 in terms of your textbook. Page 35, again, we're just moving along. Okay, so Commonwealth of a nation. So Commonwealth of a nation, or how we're known as the Commonwealth, basically means that countries who have been associated in terms of being linked to the British Empire are known as the Commonwealth nation. Again, the Commonwealth nation, usually known as the Commonwealth, is an association of independent sovereign states, almost which are former territories of the British Empire. So basically what that means, what that's saying, so a Commonwealth nation basically is a country that was once ruled by Britain, or the British Empire, who now has influence based on Britain, or has influence based on the British Empire. So again, for example, looking at PLAR history, how we looked at way back, how we talked about Canada as a country that is heavily influenced by the British Empire. Okay, what we did was influenced by the British Empire. So basically, a Commonwealth nation is the same thing. Okay, we got countries on the world who was once ruled by the British Empire, now has influence from Britain or the British Empire. Okay, so Canada is just not one country that has linked to, the United Nation, the United Kingdom. Okay, there's other countries around the world too that was once influenced or still has ties or connections to the British Empire. So again, as you know, there are 54 countries that are linked to the Commonwealth. Okay, so what's unique about this is, we have our Queen, Queen Elizabeth II. Okay, she was recognized as the head of the state of the Commonwealth. Okay, she was the head of state. Okay, in other words, she doesn't have political powers. Okay, she can't just do whatever she wants. Okay, but she is recognized as the head of state, which means that other Commonwealth nations are seen as the Queen as a symbol of unity. Okay, unity coming together. Okay, one common head of state, and others are Queen. Okay, so the Commonwealth or the Commonwealth nations is primary or organization. Okay, so just these countries who are once linked to the British Empire. Again, they are an organization in which these countries with diverse economic backgrounds have an opportunity for close and equal interactions. Okay, the primary activities of the Commonwealth are designed to create an atmosphere of economic cooperation between member nations, as well as promote, again, you'll see this, democracy, human rights, and good governance in them. Okay, so basically we all have same goals, same common interests. Okay, it relates to the United Nations again. It relates to creating peace, promoting human rights where everyone is treated equally, fairly, without discrimination, and democracy. Okay, where everyone has the right to be heard or vote or be said. Okay, freedom. Okay, in a sense. Okay, that's what Commonwealth nations. They just have common goals. They have common goals. Yeah, like I mentioned, the Commonwealth is not a political union. They're just an organization that comes together with the same common goals and with the same uh, link to the British Empire or the British monarch. Okay, Commonwealth nations. Again, talk about memberships on how countries can be qualified of a Commonwealth nations. Okay, so we got countries, so such as India, which is like highly populated area, takes up, lots of the world. So Canada, Canada is again is also part of the Commonwealth nations. So if I go back towards the map, again you'll see that Canada, India, Bangladesh, Australia. So for example, India, they have a highly populated area, and we link that, with Australia, Canada, and such, So about 30% of the world population is a part of the Commonwealth nation. And basically to be considered or recognized as a Commonwealth nation, it needs to be recognized once. Again, like I said, membership is open to countries that accept the association basic aims. So basically, again, like I said, they need to be linked to the British Empire. So membership is open to countries that accept the association basic aims, promoting human rights, democracy, members are also required to have present or have past constitutional link to United Kingdom or the British Empire. Okay, but again, not all members have direct link to United Kingdom. Okay, again, kind of a bit confusing. So the main goal is that they need to be recognized or have link to the United Kingdom or the British Empire at one point. But again, not all members. Okay, not all members have direct constitutional ties to United Kingdom. Okay, they may have been influenced by other countries who have once been linked to the British Empire. Okay, but then again, there are also British Empire links. Okay, and it talks about again who doesn't belong. So, for example, France. You may think that France, is a highly populated country, with same goals and link as Britain and Canada in terms of promoting world peace, not creating conflict. But France is not a part of the Commonwealth nation. France is not a part of the Commonwealth nation. It was once suggested that France should apply or should be recognized as a Commonwealth nation because they have the same goals, same influence, but they are not. They are not. Okay. Other countries, such as Israel, joined the Commonwealth. This proposal was opposed by most Israelis. But right here, this point right here. Okay, despite their historical of British rules, the foreign countries has never joined. Okay, these are countries that have never joined. Okay, even though they have linked to the British Empire or British rule, countries such as Egypt, Iran, Bahrain, Jordan, Kuwait, Oman, United States, and Hong Kong, they are not a part of the Commonwealth nation. Not a part. Okay? So Egypt, Iran, Bahrain, Jordan, Kuwait, Oman, United States, and Hong Kong are countries that are not a part of the Commonwealth nations. Okay, even though they have been linked at one point or has been ruled by one point by the British Empire or Britain, they are not a part of the Commonwealth nation. Okay? And it's really important that you recognize these countries or these nations who are not a part of the Commonwealth nation. You'll see their name pop up again. Alright, let's get to the next assignment. Okay, and you'll see here, go to assignment 10. So let's do that right now. Again, just little extra details, how there's the Olympic Games, but we have the Commonwealth Games. Okay, but let's get to assignment 10. I'm gonna go over the question for assignment 10 so that you know exactly what needs to be answered. What requirements I'm looking for in terms of assignment 10. And just a reminder, nothing new here in terms of assignments. Remember to write in full, complete sentences. Okay, no jot notes, but full, complete sentences. Provide as much details as you can. Okay, as much details as you can. So again, don't just necessarily write one sentence, but expand. Okay, give examples. Okay, expand your knowledge. The more details you provide, the better mark you'll receive. Okay, for example, even though it's out of 2 marks, okay, still expand on your answers. Okay, always. Okay, assignment 10. This is your last assignment in terms of lesson 4, human geography. Again, it's not a super long assignment. It's out of 18 marks. Okay, so question number 1, what is primary industry? Give examples of this type of industry. Okay, so you need to explain what is a primary industry and give examples. Okay, it's not just one example, but give as much examples as you can. Again, you can use examples in the textbook, or you can come up with your own examples too. Okay, so you can always expand on your own knowledge. Okay, question number 2. What is secondary industry? Okay, again, we talked about it again today. Give examples of this type of industry. Okay. Question number 3. What is tertiary industry? Again, you're explaining what it is. And then so basically give like a definition and then give examples. Okay. Again, I try to start off a few sentences. Okay, for example, a secondary industry is, dot, 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 dot. Then you can write some examples. Secondary industry are, and then dot, 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 dot. Okay, don't just list them, write it in full, complete sentences. Okay? So that's question 1, 2, and 3. Looking at the industry sectors. Again, they got question number 4 on assignment 10, where we're looking at what is urban geography. What is urban geography? Again, we talked about it today, we looked at it today. So what is urban geography? Again, more definitions. Question number 5. What is the quality of life in society? Again, you need to explain that term again. What is the quality of life in society? Then you got question number 6. What is military geography? Again, more definition. Again, always explain, give examples. So military geography deals with dot, 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 dots. Give your answers, okay? All right, question number 7. What is Canada's role in the United Nations Security Council? Okay, what is Canada's role in the United Nations Security Council? Again, all the answers are once again outlined and listed in the textbook. Okay, so make sure you go back and always read the textbook. It gives you more details and examples. Question number 8. Describe the Commonwealth of countries. Include who is entitled to be a member and why Canada is a part of this organization. Name 4 countries. Okay, name 4 countries that do not belong, although they qualify for membership. Okay, so you need to explain and describe what is a Commonwealth countries. Include who is entitled to be a Commonwealth member. Why is Canada part of this organization? And then I need to name 4 countries that do not belong. Okay. And that's that for assignments 10. Okay. So again, nothing too difficult in terms of assignment 10. Okay, we're dealing with just a lot more terminology, more definitions. Okay. Are there any questions right now? Any comments, thoughts, anything? Again, I know we've covered a lot of materials today in terms of human geography, but lesson 4 is now completed. It is now done. So assignments 9 and assignments 10 can now be completed. Again, just a reminder, if you're working on your own pace, whether you're still working on PLAR history or maybe even be ahead of me, it's okay. Just remember to continue to work on your assignments, do a great job on it, and once they're done, please submit it to me whenever you get the chance. So that way I can mark it and provide you with feedback. Over at Fort Hope, do I still have Rebecca and Knight on the line?
Yep.
Yeah, perfect. Excellent. Are there any questions right now, Knight? Do you have any questions? Or Rebecca, any questions?
No.
No, you guys are okay. So, which assignment are you working on right now, Rebecca?
I'm sorry, what?
Which assignment are you currently working on?
I am way behind. I'm still on assignment 3.
Assignment 3? Okay.
Yeah.
No worries. Again, if you have any questions, any difficulties, any questions that you don't understand, please let me know. Please let me
Okay.
know. Again, I have all my lessons in the past that are posted on my YouTube channel. So you can always find me on at jhillwasa. So you can Google that on YouTube, and you can find all my lessons again. So if you need something to look at, something in terms of assignment 3, you can go back and watch my lessons then. But again, just take your time. Once they're done, please get to me that way I can mark it, and then we can move forward with your tests. Excellent. And Knight, I know you're working on PLAR geography. Which assignment are you working on right now in terms of PLAR geography, Knight?
10.
Assignment 10?
Yep.
Yeah, excellent. So you're right on pace with my lesson. Excellent. Perfect. Again, I also want to point out that you can also find me on Facebook. My Facebook name is jhillwasa. Again, you can simply add me as a friend. We can talk and communicate back and forth. I can submit your marks, let you know how you're doing. Again, you can also email me at jhill@nnec.on.ca. Okay, yeah, I can mark your assignments, attach your mark sheet, give you feedback. Okay, and then once this term is over, once the course is over, you can just simply delete me as a friend. Okay. Again, like I said, I know we cover lots of materials in terms of today, where we finished off looking at human geography lesson 4. Like I said, we'll start lesson 5 on Thursday. We're gonna switch gears and look at physical geography. Okay, looking at the landscape, the formations, physical geography. Okay. Again, like I said, I know we covered lots of material today, but again, I'll do a bit of review next class. Okay, just in case you need some review, but I will always do review, and we'll just continue the lessons. Okay. Any last questions, comments, anything you wanna say before I take off? Again, I want to thank Fort Hope for calling in and listening home